I thought it would be about the best time to have a little tour around the nursery. We haven't done the complete nursery for a long while. So it's coming to the end of the season. We're at nearly November. What is there to see? Hello, I'm Rosy Hardy. This is Rosy Hardy Gardening. If you enjoy my gardening videos, then please do subscribe, as this really does help my channel. And at the moment you can tell I'm being bombed by a load of bees. This salvia is just a bee magnet. This is Salvia Phyllis's Fancy. It is in a container which is probably rooted down, but that is the sort of size that you expect this to become. This is a stock plant. A lot of the plant material you see on the ground here are stock plants. They get repotted annually and then cuttings taken off them. We're in the propagation house, Arcada tunnel, made out of bubble plastic. It's really good. So on a bright day, the bubbles diffuse the light. On a dull day, it just makes it brighter. This is kept frost-free, about +5 degrees Celsius, right the way through the winter. We collect a lot of our own seed, and that is sown fresh. So we've got seeds that are germinating. As soon as they are germinated, they are pricked out into these trays, and you get wonderful root growth at the bottom of these. Some of these are annuals, the rest of them are perennial, and they all look great. Once they're fully rooted, they will be taken from here and they will be put down on the ground. Once they have been put on the ground, then they are watered through the winter, just every now and again, occasionally. Again, like everything else in the winter, we do not try to put too much water down. In here, these trays that look as though they haven't got anything in them, apart from one or two which were taken a little bit earlier, which are just starting to put on this. These are all root cuttings. There are root cuttings of chicory, there's macleia, eryngium, centurias of all different types, all going through here. One or two of the centurias are sending up their growth. Now these will overwinter like this in these containers on here. They are on a heated mat, so they've got a basal heat but nothing over the top other than normal air temperature here. They come up and they put on lots and lots of growth, but don't be sort of thinking that that's the time that you need to get them out of there, because in actual fact what they do is they put on loads of top growth and hardly any root, and you've got to wait that extra 4 weeks for them to then put on the good root growth, and then you split them up and move them on. So that is the root cuttings. They are watered from underneath, so we will lift the trays and we will let the water go through under there, and they are just kept moist. When I first came down the benching, we saw the young pricked out seedlings. And here are seedlings that were pricked out late, what we're talking about, mid-late September, but they're too young to be potted on and go outside. So what we do is we overwinter them in here. They look wonderful and lush. They will also become deciduous. They will not stay with their foliage, so they'll die back down like a normal herbaceous, and then in the spring put on their new growth, and around about February, March, we will start repotting all of these. They are fabulous plants. Some of these are biennials, such as these, digitalis. Look at all that wonderful root growth we've got on there. And there is quite a number of different plant material, and this is all seed. From here through here is all seed raised material. We'll go further down the tunnel, we'll go past more stock plants which have yet to be cut down and repotted for overwintering, and then at the far end we'll find where all the cuttings which are sitting here, and will overwinter in the tunnel. Our cuttings at the moment are on this bench here. It will be misted over. There are also seeds still germinating. Quite a variety of different plant material in here, coronillas, heucheras, dianthus, lamiums, all sorts of things. Once again, once they are rooted, they are then taken from here and they then go onto the ground where they slightly harden off. They are overwintered here. We've got trays of our dahlia cuttings that were taken earlier, and then lots of trays of all sorts of different material. A lot of penstemon overwintered cuttings, a lot of hardy geranium and Achillea, all here overwintering. These will be some of the first things that we pot up in the spring, because they will be tough enough to go out into a cold tunnel which might even go down to freezing. Next we're going to have a look at the beds outside, where plant material has been potted on, it's sitting there and it's going to overwinter outside. Recently I set up an email newsletter, and if you want to sign up, then please click in the comments link below or scan the QR code on the screen now. If you sign up, you get an exclusive video. This is a video of me explaining colour combinations and plant combinations in real gardens. So here we are on one of the many beds that we have here in the nursery of potted up material. These are younger plants going through here, and at the end of this row we've got older plants. The majority of everything that you see here is going to overwinter outside because we want it to be tough. We want it to create a really good root pot full, and you've got something like this, which is a penstemon, and it has beautiful roots all coming through. That will be perfectly okay to overwinter outside. There will be some things like some of the salvias, for instance, and maybe some of the half-hardy annuals that we've got out here like cerinthe, which will be taken in and stored inside one of the cold tunnels. They'll still get frosted, but what they won't get is they won't get the winter wet, and that's really what we're looking for. So when we look down the bed from here, we've got a few Cynthia trichums, more down here, and then we come on to some of the slightly tender salvias like this. These are going to be cut back, moved inside. They won't be repotted until the spring. And then a lot of the material down here, which is much larger, will be gradually repotted up over the winter months. As you can see behind me here, there is a framework, metal framework of a tunnel. This unfortunately got taken down with one of the storms that we had. It was a shade tunnel. It will become a shade tunnel again, but while we're in the winter months, you don't really need the shade because the sun is not that strong. The majority of the material that is in there, although it's shade loving, is actually dormant, so it really doesn't make that much difference. So we will recover this in the spring to give us good shade through there, and that will be a 50% shade cover. As you come to the nursery and you park up, you're greeted by this wonderful display, and we have small tables which are set up with mixes of plant material just so that you can see what is possible to do. Look at this fabulous Kniphofia ruperi with this wonderful grass here, and then you've got yellow of the Caryopteris, and what couldn't be better than this fabulous dahlia. This is Dahlia Christopher Taylor. So it is all set up. They are redone every week just to show what is looking good, and this is a cracking display for end of October, beginning of November. What an array of colour going right the way through here. It's fantastic. You've got autumn colour foliage on this ceratostigma with the blue. You've got the blue of this wonderful salvia. You've got greys, you've got whites, you've got the oranges, you've got chrysanthemums in the back. Just fantastic. And if we move on to one of the other ones, you'll find that we have got yellows and blues all mixed in that one as well. You come in the entrance to bright, brash colours, and then you come through to this array of beautiful blues, lilacs, yellows, and this cracking colour here of this salvia. Because the yellow is here and you've got these petals, they just go together. And all of this just helps people understand what colour combinations they can do. So the yellow varies. You've got a double yellow here, and then this one is a single, but it's got the most gorgeous, delicate foliage. And then this salvia with this indigo, quite striking indigo, and the Cynthia tritums, which are a much more pale lilac, and you know, both here and here. Really good. So that is really something that we try and do so that people are interested and go, oh, we could create that in our own borders. Sitting on top of these gabions, these were used in 2016 at my Chelsea Flower Show debut of a garden. And it, you know, reuse, reuse, reuse. And that's what we do on the nursery. So they make really wonderful staging for all the plants to go on. So we can go from this to something more delicate like over here. This is a much more delicate display. You can tell that it's not finished yet, which is absolutely fine. So it's going to be built up. You've got delicate grasses there, and the grass shape just makes it feel softer. You've got pinks, you've got whites, you've got a little bit of burgundy in the way of foliage as well. A few dahlias in here, a few chrysanthemums, and this is what it is to have that shape and form and just be a little bit softer. Some people like the really brash, some want to be bold, other people want it to be like this. And then some of the barrels here are done for shade loving planting. So again, just slightly more delicate in their feel. We do always welcome visitors to the nursery right through the year. It's absolutely fine, but do remember that our opening times do change throughout the year. So before you visit, do check up on the website, and then that will be absolutely fine. I'm just between two of our colour benches here, the purple and the pink. We have all sorts of plant material available for you to be able to buy. Hope you enjoyed this tour around the nursery. Please do subscribe to the channel. If you want to watch another video of mine, YouTube thinks this one is perfect for you.